Hi, I'm Coda, and this is Coda's Comedy Corner. I'd like to tell you my first experience at the bar. A friend of mine invited me to a bar. He came over and invited me, and he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He came over. I said, "I'm just kicking back." And he said, "Hey, I'd like to invite you to go shoot some pool and have a couple beers." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! You're not talking about a bar, are you?" He's like, "No, it's a tavern." Dude, that's a bar. He's like, "No, a tavern is different than a bar." I said, "Dude, it's a bar." And he's like, "Okay, it's a bar. I'd just like to invite you to go with me." I said, "Dude, I don't go to bars. I don't like them, and I just don't go to them." And he's like, "Come on, do it for me. I want to go shoot some pool, have a couple beers, get out of the house. Just would you do it for me just this one time?" I'm like, I like beer, and I'm not even good at pool. But all right, there's one time. So we get in the car, and I said, "So what's the name of this place?" And we're driving, and he's like, "Oh, it's called Bob's." So we pull up, and across the street, and he's parking the car, and I'm like, look, and I'm like, "Is that the place we're going to across the street?" He's like, "Yeah." And the sign says O and a B. I'm like, "I thought you said the name of the place was Bob's. It says Obi or Ob." And he's like, "Oh, well, the B and the S fell off after the earthquake." Like, dude, that earthquake was like 20 years ago. So anyway, he said, "Come on, man." He said, "Hey, man, I'm telling you, like, it's really cool inside, and the drinks are really inexpensive." I'm like, I can see why we want to go to this place. So we get out of the car, we start to walk across the street, and there's no windows at the place. And there's graffiti, like, all over the wall. I'm like, "Dude, what's up with all the graffiti?" And he's like, "No, I don't think that's graffiti. I think that's like the new age art, artsy type of stuff." I said, "Dude, it's graffiti." So anyway, we're walking towards the door. And this door, I kid you not, looked like this big, huge, like a bank vault. Right? Like made to keep something in. So then... So we get to the door, and you got to turn this big handle thing right in and open it up, and you almost hear like a vacuum seal break. Right? So my friend's opening the door, and I'm like, like that spooky sound, like the door hasn't been opened in years, right? Red flag. So my friend walks in, and then I'm right behind him, and I'm holding the door with one hand. I have like 1 foot in. And I'm like looking around. It's as dark as a tomb inside. I kid you not. And my friend's like, "Hey, come on, man, close the door." I'm just like, I let the door go, and I take a step, and if I had a gun or a knife, I think I would have put my hand on it. Right? So then I'm like, "Oh, okay, I need a few seconds to get, my night vision." It's pitch dark in there. I'm like, "Okay, I finally got it." And then I look over, and my friend's like, go rack him up." And I'm like, so he's pointing towards like the back end corner. So I'm like looking over there. I go, "Okay, get your night vision." And, and I look back at the bar, and there's only 3 lights at the bar. 1 light on each end and 1 light in the middle. And they're so dim, a candle light would have been brighter. It's almost like they purposely had it dim to like hide something, or so you wouldn't see something. Right? And I was like, "Ew." And I'm like, look, and like the barmaid or bartender, she looked like a female version of the Crypt Keeper. It's like, ew, and my friend's like, ordering something, and so they go rack them up. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I start walking over there. I'm trying to find my way. Finally, I bump into I get with the pool table, and I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, I could see like there was like one of those Budweiser lamps over the table. So I'm fishing for the cord, and like, what is that? It felt like a worm or something. Like, what the heck, you know? And then, you know, I had to pull out my lighter and I light it, and then there's like, oh, it's a rubber band stuck on a little chain. So I pull it and the light comes on, you know. I'm like, okay, and I look down at the pool table. It's all full of dust. Right? Like no one's ever used it for years. Like, okay. And then like I look over and there's a big old stack of tables and chairs all busted up. Right? I'm like, where are we, Thunderdome? Where are we, man? And I'm like, I look over. At the end of, at one end of the bar, there's like this really old lady. Like she looks like she's like 100 and something years old. I kid you not. You know, probably like in her late 90s. And her hair's all messed up and nappy, like Phyllis Diller. You know, and then she has like this, you know, a ton of makeup on. And then she had like this long, like 1920, like a cigarette holder. It looked like it was supposed to be chrome, but it's all like rusty. And then there's like a cigarette at the end of it. You know, she's like, and half the cigarette is ash, and it's just clinging on like her for life. Right? And I'm just like, you know, and I'm like, I almost like, I don't want to look at her, but at the same time, it's like hard not to because she's creepy looking. And all of a sudden she sees me looking at her, and she smiles. And she only has like 2 teeth up at the top. Right? And all of a sudden I notice she's wearing a tube top. Right? And her balloons are hanging below the equator. Right? I'm just like, I didn't even know a tube top could stretch that far. Right? So anyway, you know, I'm just like, look away, look away. So then I kind of, you know, I go to get the cue balls out of the slot, and like, what the heck? And my friend walks up with a pitcher of beer, and he's like, what's wrong? I said, man, there's like all kinds of cobwebs and stuff where the cue balls are. Nah, come on, quit messing around. Just rack them up. And I'm like, hey man, why'd you get a pitcher? I didn't want to stay here that long. I thought you were going to get me 1 beer and you 1 beer, and then I thought we'd play a game or two and then leave. I'm telling you, I'm very uncomfortable. He's like, come on, man. He goes, I'll tell you what. After we finish the beer and a couple games, we'll leave, okay? Brother, I started guzzling that beer. So anyway, he's chalking his stick, you know, and I'm like looking, and at the middle of the bar, there's 2 guys, right? One guy, you know, they're both like big guys. One guy has like supposedly a white tank top, but it's all, looks like full of like nicotine stains. Right? It's all dirty in that. And I'm like, what the heck? You know? And then next to him, it looks like they're there together. His friend has a white t-shirt, and it's all dirty, full of cement and dirt. And in the back, it has blood and like a couple of rips in the shirt. You know, like, what the heck? And then he had like this big old, like a square patch bandage on the back of his head, and it was all bloody. Right? And I'm just like, so I'm like, it's almost like the guy got assaulted earlier, got hit in the head with a crowbar. His friend took him to the hospital. They stitch him up. They put the patch on there instead of his friend taking him home so he could rest or something. Hey, let's go to this bar I know. Like right after. But the patch was all bloody. There's blood on his shirt and that. I'm like, what the heck? And then like, I look over at the other end of the bar, and there's this guy who looks like Tom Waits. And he's like, looks like he's talking to someone who's not there, right? And I'm just like, okay, this is spooky. You know, I kid you not. So anyway, you know, my friend goes, hey man, hurry up, rack him up, man. I want a break, you know. So I rack him up. I take the stick, the rack off, and I look there, and there's this big old huge spider web. I'm kid you not, it was like something out of arachnophobia. Not no little Charlotte's web, a big, huge web. I'm telling you, like, you know, I'm freaking out. I'm waiting for like one of those big spiders from Harry Potter to go scurrying up it and then like leap at me. You know what I mean? I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm scared in there. And all of a sudden, we're just about. I'm guzzling that beer, and my friend, hey, slow down, slow down. All right. So then we finished the game up in that, and then my friend goes, so okay, come on, let's go. I know, you're feeling uncomfortable. I said, yeah, brother, you don't feel that freaky energy, like wicked energy in here. I feel like I'm in the devil's den. So anyway, he goes, let's leave. So I take a couple of steps, and all of a sudden, like whoosh, like this freaky cold wind, like beastly wind, comes behind me, and I felt like I heard something go, where are you going? I'm like, man, I should have brought my Bible. I'm telling you, I started looking for scriptures to say as I'm walking out that place, man. I'm telling you, there was something in there, evil. So I'm running out the door, right? I almost break through the door, and then my friend comes out, and he's holding the door open. I'm like, dude, close the door, man. He's like, what's your problem? I said, dude, you don't want to release whatever's in there into the world. I closed the door, and I turned the big latch. And I said, dude, why did you bring me here, man? I'm going to come back later and sprinkle some holy water on this place, man. So then my friend's like, what's your problem? I said, dude, you didn't feel that wickedness and that weird energy in there? He's like, no. Well, I did. So anyway, we left. Anyway, that was my first experience at a bar. I hope this has been enlightening, informative, and funny at the same time. And let me leave you with this. If you're ever at a place where you feel uncomfortable and like a weird vibe, leave. Because there's something there and you need to get out of there. Anyway, that's The Bar from Coda. Thanks for listening. Peace, love, and God.